Hello everyone. First of all, it's a little news I have for the channel. I want to thank everyone. I've reached 1,000 subscribers. I've been making videos on YouTube for a number of years now, but I finally made 1,000. I hope I could bring you entertaining and interesting material in the future. When I got back into camping, I wasn't fishing or hunting. That was the purpose of my camping in the past, mostly fishing. And so I was thinking, what am I going to do in camp all day? What do? You know, I'm not going to be fishing. So I thought I would take up bushcrafting, learning how to make things in camp, how to do things the pioneer way, the survivalist way. And the first thing I got interested in was fire making. And one of the first things that I learned to do and do well was flint and steel. And in order to use flint and steel, you have to have a material that'll take a spark. One of the easiest things to take a spark is char cloth, and that's what I want to show y'all today, is how to make char cloth. The way I like to make my char cloth is with old blue jeans, which is a denim material, of course. It's kind of a thick material, hardy material, which lends itself well to making char cloth. I start out by cutting down about an inch or and a half or so, and then you could just rip out a strip. You could rip out a strip like that. You could cut it if you want it to be more even, but ripping works good. And then once you get a strip ripped out like that, you could begin cutting it into squares. Char cloth to me is one of the hottest embers. I really do like to use it. So anyway, once you have that, I'll show you the next step. You're going to need a container because we don't want to burn this material. We're going to keep air away from it. I believe the process is called pyrolysis, where the heat decomposes the material and everything gases off but the carbon. I believe in the form of carbon monoxide, methane, hydrogen, different elements. I'm not a scientist. You could Google it if you want to know all that. Anyway, we don't want air to get in there. Otherwise, it'll just be ashes. So this container's a little bit tight when it's screwed down, so I poked a hole to let those gases escape. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to place this on some heat. It could be an open fire. In my case, I like using a propane camp stove. It works well for me. Heat is the key that is going to release the gases from the cloth where you'll end up with a char material. So I'm going to go ahead and start this up and get it going. You can see the smoke coming out. You're going to have smoke come out, but you're going to also have gases that are going to come out, I think mostly in the form of methane. It caught flame. And this is going to last for several minutes. It's been about 3 or 4 minutes, and now we have a steady flame. I don't see much smoke. Pyrolyzing is a type of decomposition using heat. Okay, we're about 10 minutes in. It's quit flaming up. It's back to smoking a little bit. All right, it's been about 20 minutes and there's no smoke coming out of the hole anymore, which tells me that we've completed the process. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn off the flame and we're going to allow this to cool. While that's cooling, I can show you one other thing. I like this steel that Essie makes. Essie, of course, makes knives, but they also make this steel here, and it doubles for me as a steel for striking a spark. And as you can see, here's a dimple, and that dimple allows you to use this as a bearing block when you're doing bow and drill. All right, that's a pretty big change from denim to this material here, which is called char cloth. You'd call it charcoal if it were being made for the barbecue pit. Same thing. It won't produce a flame, but it will produce a glowing ember, just like in your barbecue pit. And you use that ember to start a fire. We're going to do that in just a second. Okay, what's the old saying? The proof is in the pudding. Well, in this case, the proof is going to be in the spark, or rather how the spark ignites this new material. Well, I've been taught, thank you David West, that the best way to do is to start out by tearing this piece, and it creates a lot of little edges. Then you take the piece that you tore, the two pieces that you tore, and lay them together. And it is still pretty supple. It's not brittle. And you got to find a sharp part of your rock, and you place the char almost at the edge, not quite on the edge. See if I can get you closer and show you that. Let's see, I got to get behind the camera, make sure I got it focused. So you have it just about on the edge. And you see how the edge has got a lot of little fibers. That's what you want. All right. You don't have to use a whole lot of force. I've seen people really bang down on the flint. You really don't need to do that. Just a good little glance. And it don't hardly work always on the first spark, but that means you got some good material here. I'll show you this. You gotta go with it. That is hot. It will burn you quite a bit. Let's see, and I have my tinder bundle here. Already ready. I have a short video showing you a close-up of this process. You need to go look at it. Well, it worked. That was my method of making char cloth. I hope it helps you, and you get to make many fires camping, whether you're hunting, fishing, or just enjoying camping. I love it. I really do enjoy playing with this stuff. So anyway, thank you again for 1,000 subscribers, and I'm going to ask you please start watching my videos through, because I want to get that 4,000 hours now. Take care, and I'll talk to you later.